हम सब जानते हैं कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने मित्रता के रखते प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप के साथ जो उनके आत्मीय संबंध है, उसके मद्देनजर जो ट्रेड डील यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के साथ फाइनलाइज की है, वो हमारे सभी पड़ोसी, सभी आसपास के देश, सभी जो देश हमारे साथ स्पर्धा करते हैं, उन सभी देशों में सबसे बढ़िया डील भारत को मिली है। आप सबको, हम सबको मिली है, जो देशवासियों के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए शुभ संकेत लाती है।
The statement released only sets the stage for future talks and only addresses immediate issues like tariffs on Indian goods. USA will now apply only 18% reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods. These goods include textiles, leather, footwear, plastics, rubber, organic chemicals, home decor, artisanal products, certain machinery, gems and diamonds.
So today, if we see import duties in India were very high, the tax structures were very complex, and there was a lot of policy uncertainty. But now with Indo-Euro FTA in place, we will see import duties coming down. There is a lot of policy certainty now, which will really help European players to really plan in a big way for investments in India. And they can clearly now see India not just as a sales market, but also as a market from where they can export, because we have been seeing that European OEMs have also been looking for China plus one, and clearly today Indian automotive component manufacturers are in sweet spot, and they clearly provide a good substitute to China.
America will also remove tariffs on certain aircraft and aircraft parts, boosting India's aviation sector exports. Moreover, India will receive negotiated outcomes with regards to generic pharmaceuticals and ingredients.
I think it's a great opportunity for our, generic pharmaceutical companies, because US is a very large market with $30 trillion economy. So I think that this access to the generic pharma industry will definitely boost our exports. And US has a good demand for these generic pharma, because this is used by general public. I think overall, if you look at it, this terms of agreement, which is now effective, is a decisive shift from protectionism to partnerships, and that too between the two largest democracies of the world. And India is the fastest growing economy in the world, and US is the largest economy. So therefore, this is a very strategic partnership between US and India.
Even a preferential tariff rate quota from the US with regards to automotive parts has also been negotiated to aid the auto industry.
True that you're going to have tariffs come down significantly across a lot of sectors, and I think that in principle, a number of key Indian a number of key Indian products will benefit in a big way. Though again, I rather withhold judgment until I have a better sense as to what exactly this deal looks like. But sometimes it bears amplifying the obvious that America is a top export market for Indian goods, and India had been able to develop a series of workarounds to insulate itself from the shock of those 50% tariffs from the US, including its recently announced trade deal with the EU. But at the end of the day, I would argue that so many Indian exporters stand to benefit if they don't have to worry about oppressive tariffs coming from the U.S., a top export destination for so many Indian goods.
A very good relationship. India committed to not only no longer purchasing Russian oil, but buying oil from the United States, also perhaps from Venezuela too, which we know will now have a direct benefit on the United States and the American people. And in addition to that, Prime Minister Modi committed to $500 billion of investments into the United States, including for transportation, for energy, and for agricultural products as well. So this is another great trade deal.
The statement has specified that India will only eliminate or reduce tariffs on all U.S. industrial goods, unlike the 0% that was previously mentioned.
That President Trump had made, had talked about there would be zero tariffs from the India side, had talked about $500 billion in goods to be purchased. It turns out that that's really aspirational over a period of 5 years, rather than something which is going to happen immediately. India has not agreed to reduce all of its tariff barriers to zero, which was represented. So yes, it's a great thing that India and the U.S. seem to be working around this problem, which was really created in the first place by President Trump.
The agreement does not mandate that India purchase $500 billion of US products in the next 5 years. Instead, it merely expresses the intention.
दोनों देशों के बीच भावी व्यापार अवसरों के संदर्भ में माननीय सदस्यगण इस बात को समझ लेंगे कि भारत और अमेरिका काफी हद तक एक दूसरे की पूरक अर्थव्यवस्थाएं हैं। जैसे जैसे भारत विकसित भारत के पथ पर अग्रसर हो रहा है, हमें ऊर्जा, विमानन, डेटा केंद्र, परमाणु ऊर्जा आदि सहित कई क्षेत्रों में अपनी क्षमताओं को बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता होगी। अमेरिका इन क्षेत्रों में दुनिया का अग्रणी देश है, इसलिए हमारे लिए इन क्षेत्रों में व्यापार की संभावनाओं पर ध्यान केंद्रित करना स्वाभाविक है, जिससे न केवल हमारी खरीद में बल्कि हमारे अपने निर्यात में भी विस्तार होगा। अतः हमारा अनुमान है कि तुलनात्मक लाभ के परिणाम स्वरूप कई क्षेत्रों में भारत का निर्यात अमेरिका में भी काफी बढ़ेगा।
US, on the other hand, will remove the reciprocal tariffs only after the fruition of the interim agreement.